Hello everyone. Let me get situated here before I start. I titled this lecture, Get Closer to Allah, the Creator, by understanding the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life. This is a brief introduction into Kabbalah, into the Jewish mysticism. It's part one. It's just a real quick overview. This is a very complicated, very complicated topic, and many of you are probably wondering why I'm talking about, Jewish mysticism. Well, they are our cousins, right? They're our cousins, and the Quran is full of stories about Beni Israel and how they angered Allah and this and that. And we listen to these stories from our imams and people, and it's just a story to us, But they are our cousins. I mean, Jewish people are allowed to pray in our masjids, right? And Muslims can pray in Jewish synagogues, but Jewish people cannot pray in churches, and we can't pray in churches either. There's so much in common that it's almost the same religion. Okay. So what is the Kabbalah? What is the Tree of Life? In Islam we believe that we fell from heaven. Correct. We fell from the Garden of Eden to this physical world, which is depicted as Earth, as this place where we have to start ascending up and go back into heaven. It's always about ascension. It's almost like these Greek mythologies and all these ancient mythologies that talk about we are in the underworld trying to get to the heavens, So it's a journey. It's a journey of our soul. So what the Tree of Life is a depiction of the journey of our soul from this physical existence and how to ascend up to heaven, up to that understanding, up to God, going back to God, right? Have you guys seen? This is basically Tree of Life, okay? This is the kabbalistic Tree of Life. Now, you've probably seen this before, and it was like superimposed on a human body, right? So the head would be this is the throat, okay, and this is the head, and the arms and legs, and this here is the genitals. Okay, so each of those circles, they are called siphoras. They're basically 10 siphoras that you gotta go through all 10 and reach the top, which is called Kether. Now, I'm not going to explain all of them, what they mean and everything, but it's just really important to understand that there are supposedly 22 paths to get to heaven. Okay, to get to that understanding, that to get to the crown, to get to the Creator, there's 22 paths, according to the kabbalistic Tree of Life. And so the idea is we're at number 10 at the bottom, and we have to reach the top. All right, so 10, it's called Malkuth. It's physical, it's vision, it's this illusion. We are in a illusion, right? Everything here holds us down to the physical. We hold on to our past. We hold on to different images of ourselves that we have, and if you hold on to those images, you're not allowed to. You will not go up even in your life. If you had a traumatic experience, maybe when you were 10 years old, and then that experience that put you in your shell, and because of that, you have become maybe shy, for example, and that's just the image you're holding on to in the past, and that holding on to that is not allowing you to grow as a person because you're inside your shell. But we have hundreds of examples that kind of damage us, that make this shell of ours more and more thick, harder to break, because we're so tied to this physical reality. We are in this illusion, and we are so tied to it. We're so tied to our self-image. We're so tied to what people limit us with. They tell us our beliefs, and we get limited with those beliefs. And after I've studied this tree of life, this kabbalistic tree of life, it's a modality to go within, and every major religion has one, and it's pretty much all the same. They all have the same kind of understanding. There might be different names, but they're all the same. And this ties to like the Vedic systems. This ties to Gnostic systems. This ties to even the Sikh system. This ties to every religious system to go within. But I couldn't find one for Islam. There wasn't one. Well, there is one, but we have been so brainwashed as Muslims living in the West here that we gave up our knowledge, that seeking, we gave it up to our institutions to teach us instead of us teaching ourselves. You have to teach yourself. You have to seek knowledge within. You can't be taught. You can't be taught this. This is all within. So some interesting things about the Tree of Life. Now there's 10 sifras, 10 main sections, right? See, there's 10 main sifras. These are sifras. This is 10, right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Dousnt. So I was reading something about 9/11, right? 9/11 was a kabbalistic ritual, because in the kabbalistic ritual, to have 9 sifras or 11 sifras, it is blasphemy in this Jewish mysticism. It's blasphemy to say that. And Dousnt here is number 11. Okay, this is 11. There's a secret path. Basically, there's a secret sifra, which is the 11th sifra. You can only have 10. You can only have 10 sifras in the Kabbalah. You can't have 9, and to have 11 is blasphemous. But that's just a scary way of you not going in that darkness, Doth. Like Darth Vader, it came from the word Doth. I know this might seem like it's fantasy or it's crazy to you, but George Lucas, all those guys, they all studied this. This is it's crazy, but it's really interesting, And what Doth signifies the tree of knowledge. Okay, this is the tree of life. Doth is the tree of knowledge. So we are basically the tree of life signifies our ascension to heaven. Okay, and so you can be in this tree of life. You can be at number 10 and go up the tree of life, but if you have not been through Doth, you don't have knowledge. That's what this is saying. Now, Doth, what is Doth? Doth is actually the darkness within. We all see in light. Literally, like, ask any medical professional or anybody that studies, physics or anything actually. What we see is light. Light refracted, and we interpret that light in certain ways. And we only see 0.04% of the light spectrum. Everything else, we can't see it. So what Doth is understanding that when you go within yourself into your own darkness, when you close your eyes and you see, different images of whatever you're thinking. How do you see that? Where do you see that from? Do you see it from your mind, your mind, or do you see it from somewhere else? So the idea with Doth is to see your own light. You can't be in a lit area. You cannot be on the tree of life seeing your own light. This is not your own light. This is the different light. Now, to see your own light, you have to go in darkness. You have to go in darkness of yourself. You have to face your shadow self. You have to face your jinn. You have to face your demons. And go through them with that own divine spark of yours. See, when you go to your own darkness, it's void of light. But the deeper you go, the deeper you follow that rabbit, the deeper you go in that darkness, there's that light at the end of the tunnel. You heard of that before, right? In the tunnel, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. That is your divine spark. You find your divine spark, and then you go back to the tree of life, and you start at number 10. Now you see the world differently. See, it's not an illusion anymore. Before, if you don't go in your own darkness, this world is an illusion. It's going to hold you down, trapped with your animal self and these lusts and emotions, and you'll be trapped, you'll be stuck in the lower realm of reality. You'll always be subjugated to everybody else's emotions and this and that, So yeah, Doth is the dark side. But darkness, people say, well, darkness is void of light. That's not true. See, darkness is actually all the light. It's all the light. It's every single light combined. That's darkness. But then in that darkness, you find a light that you can see. That is that divine spark of yours. That's your soul. That is your nafs, or your ruh, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then you have your soul. Then you have your body and your spirit. I know I'm saying some I've never heard anybody, any Muslim person saying this kind of stuff. And 2 years ago, I went on a quest of just seeking, and about a year ago, I went to my darkness, I went to my darkness, and I don't know what to say. It's just, I believe that this is what's missing in our understanding of reality, of Islam, of everything. We have not been told this kind of stuff. We don't even look into this kind of stuff because it's haram, or it's gonna lead you astray. Everybody's trapped in an illusion. I mean, look at our communities. People are depressed. They're worried. They don't have self-esteem. They don't have self-respect. They don't have self-love. They don't. And you're probably saying, "Oh, that's not true, brother. That's not true. We love each other." Come on, give me a break. Are you serious? I mean, there's Indian masjid, there's Arabic masjids, there's all these different masjids. There's strife in the community. There is deep-seated anger. Family members don't talk. Yet we go about our life like we are being really good Muslims just because we get up to work and pay our bills and provide for the family, the house, and the cars and whatnot, which is good. I'm not saying that's bad, but that's not life. We've been tricked. We've been tricked, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? Look at our masjids, for example. Yeah, some are grand and very nice looking from the outside, but you look in detail, you see the foam siding. It's just a facade, and we become a facade. Our internal bodies, like from the inside, it's just covered up by all this other crap, and that light, that your divine spark has been covered up by other things, other lights, other belief in other systems, belief in this thing, belief in that thing. I talk to people about health because they ask me. I used to go around telling people, "Oh, that's unhealthy, this is unhealthy," but after a while, I realized that people are going to believe what they believe, and if you tell them, they won't believe you. But if you have to show them. So, like, I was asked recently, like, "Hey, how do you lose weight?" And I was like, well, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can get sick and you can lose weight, 10 pounds. You can, maybe cut your fat off. You can lose weight, right? I mean, I wasn't being serious, obviously, but it just, even the questions we ask, like, how do we do this? We think of ourselves like, oh man, I gotta lose 10 pounds, and then you get sick, right? You get sick and you lose 10 pounds. Your wish came true. Your wish came true. That just goes to show that whatever you ask for, you gotta be careful, because it is gonna come true. You have to be more specific about anything. Like, think about it. Anything you asked for in your life since you were young, you probably got it. You trying to pass your board exams or your exam. I remember once I prayed, like I literally prayed with sincerity that I passed my insurance exams in California a couple of years, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and I passed. I got like amazing score on all the different sections, and I remember before that I prayed that I passed the physical exam when I was going to be a police officer, and it happened, and then I prayed that, hey, I pray that I pass these written exams so I can get my badge and gun, and it happened. And I realized recently, maybe 8-9 months ago, that whatever you ask for, you're going to get it. But the problem that we ask for things for less than admirable reasons, and we don't ask things too specifically. So that goes, about losing weight. Maybe the question you should ask is, how do I have more energy to fulfill my goals? How do I have more energy? My goal is to run around with my kids, and I want to be able to go on the monkey bar with them. And I haven't been able to go on a monkey bar since I was, 10 years old. And if you make that your goal, instead of just losing weight, think of the way you will get more energy, You will start eating better because food is energy. You will start thinking better because thought is energy too. You will start just carrying yourself in a higher energy form. Not a low energy like depressed and heavy, but more upbeat, optimistic. This is all energy. And this kind of goes into that Sephira, the bottom one, which is, where we are living in. Most of us are living in this bottom realm. It's the lowest realm. It is tied to the physical. It's tied to this illusion. We say we believe in Allah, we believe in all these things, but that's maybe fourth. Maybe you fear tomorrow's report that you have to give in front of the board members. You fear that, right? Or maybe you fear taking that exam, or you fear what your friends or your family will say if you start being your true self. If you have a dream, but you suppress that dream because it's looked weird upon in society, in normal society. And who wants to be normal, right? Normal is average, right? If you want to do anything great in life, it doesn't come from average. Doing average things will give you average results. Being an average person, you'll be there's nothing wrong with being average. Sometimes to be average is a good goal. Some people are really below average in terms of their thinking and health and everything, and you want to get to average. But then once you get to average, you understand you can go up higher. But after studying the Tree of Life and the kabbalistic Tree of Life, and then I got into Gnosticism, then I got into Islamic mysticism, and it's really a disservice that our institutions are doing to us, not explaining this. But you know what? I can't blame them, because who makes up the board members? Who makes up the imams? And who makes up all these people in the Western Hemisphere that are in charge of the dissemination of knowledge? It is people that are doctors, people that are engineers, people that are, very much so tied to the physical realm and living up to the dominant society's image, mean, that's who controls our information. So of course they're not even aware of this kind of stuff. And if this is like some really heavy stuff, and it's amazing, Like let me just explain to you real quick. There is, for example, there are 22 paths to get to the top, to get to the crown, right? There's 22 paths, and 22, that is a number you see in a lot of esoteric symbolism. See, for example, the Paramount with the stars and that I think that Pegasus like flying up over the mountain. It's a Paramount symbol, and then you see these stars coming and going. There's 22 stars actually. There's 22 stars on that. That actually signifies the paths, the 22 paths. And it's not by coincidence. It's not because it was a cool design. These people are masters in the kabbalistic tradition. Lucas was a master in it, or is a master. Roddenberry. These are the writers of like Star Trek. This all. It all has to do with the Tree of Life and the different sephiras, different kingdoms. Okay, there's 10 kingdoms. I mean, each one is a kingdom. See, kingdom of Malkuts is the kingdom of the physical presence, kingdom of the vision, kingdom of this illusion. So number 9 would be Yesed. It's the kingdom of manifesting, kingdom of knowing, kingdom of of remembering. Okay, and 8 is Hud. Okay, it's the kingdom of serenity, kingdom of surrender, and the power of like observation. 7 is, let's see, Netzach. It's about this kingdom of contemplation, of initiative, presence. It's the power of the now, the moment, being in the moment. 6 is Tiferet. It is beauty. It is symmetry. It is compassion. It is the creative energy in you, and it's in the middle, because all the paths, everything has to go through this creativity. You can't be anything that you aspire to be without activating the creative mind, which is the right brain, which is known as a feminine energy. That's why Tiferet is known as the like Venus, beauty, imagination. Let's see. That was Tiferet. That was the 6th kingdom. 5 is Geburah. Okay, 5 is Geburah. It's about strength, judgment, determination, power of your intention. You have power when you intend. When you just intend things without understanding the other realms of beauty, of symmetry, of surrender, of all those other different kingdoms, I guess you can call it, then your intention won't have any power. Okay, intention is really powerful. Without intention, you can't go up. You can't go up past anything without a really good intention. Okay, number 4, 4th kingdom is, it's called Chesed. These are all Hebrew names, actually. Chesed, it's of mercy, kingdom of mercy, grace, intention to emulate God. What does that mean? Like, God is mercy, right? The all merciful, the all seeing, the all this, all knowing, the beautiful. This, we can strive for those things, to be just, we can strive to have beauty in our speech. It's not bid'ah, it's not haram to strive to be those characteristics. Okay, and number 3 is bina. Okay, this is reason, repentance, power of unconditional love. Well, not love, but unconditional love, because you might love something, but maybe the real reason why you love it is because they reflect something that is in you. And if they didn't reflect that, then you wouldn't love it. Okay, number 2 is chokma, wisdom. It's like divine reality, revelation. It's wisdom. Okay, and number 1 is the crown, is kether, and that is knowing the Creator. That is, people can know these different realms, but you have to live through them. You have to go through them and get that knowledge and understanding. How can you have, for example, do you love something unconditionally just because they are created by Allah? Do you love it even though they did bad things? Not that you love that bad thing, but you love them for them having that divine spark in them. Strength. Like, how can you know strength? How can you know strength? Maybe a time in your life, you could have, okay, I'll tell you an example of myself. It was 1999, and it was the winter. No, it was 2000, winter 2000, in Detroit, Michigan, and me and my partner, I was a police officer, and I was in the shotgun seat. I was shotgun. All right, he was driving, I was shotgun, and we were chasing a stolen car in east side of Detroit, 7 Mile Road, around that area. This is like Eminem territory. All right, chasing a stolen car. It was a red 1988 or 89. It was a Pontiac. No, not Pontiac. It was a Chevy. What was it, like a Z28? What's going on, Zubair? Where's Joe? We'll get him. Okay, let me tell a story. Chasing this Z28, and the passenger and the driver, they went to a neighborhood, slowed down, let the car just kind of drive, and they bailed. The driver went, let's just say, north, and my partner, he chased him, and I chased the guy that went south. I was running after him in the snow. It was cold, and we got to a backyard, and there was a fence, wooden fence. He's about to climb the fence. He looks back at me and says, okay, he thinks he can take me. All right, which he probably could. Okay, so what happened then was I took my gun out and I told him to stop. He was maybe about 50 feet away from me. He took his, and he picked up a little, he picked up a, like a stick, like a wooden stick, part of that fence. And he was kind of just stood there for a second, and I had my gun out. I said, I'm going to shoot. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, I can just shoot him, and no one's going to know anything. Or I can just step back 5 feet and be in the presence of the other officers looking for the other guy, by our police car. All right, by that time, there's many people there. So I was like, man, what? Do I want to kill this guy? I can. And I know he can't do anything to me because I can step back 5 feet and be in the eyesight of the other cops. And I decided to just step back, and he kind of stepped forward a little bit, but we still kept that distance, maybe 50 feet, 40 feet. And I didn't shoot him. And, looking back now, that took, for me, that took a lot of strength, and that was, that was me living through that Sifra, And, it's just really, interesting, Yeah. Yeah, I basically recommend anybody look into the kabbalistic tree of life if they want to be closer to the Creator, closer to understanding this realm, closer to manifesting your true dreams. All right, and to get to heaven, you got to go through hell. Seriously, you have to go through some deep, dark shit. Because what is success without failure? And I've had many failures, but looking back, those failures were of my own, of my own doing, not because of anybody else. It was my own reasoning. Think about it. If all your dreams got answered, let's just say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if all your dreams got answered, you got that huge deal, you got that awesome car, you got all that stuff, what would it have done to you, right? I'm thinking back, if what I wanted happened, then it would have destroyed me. Because the reason why I was seeking those things, it wasn't because of spreading some good in the world or just living my true intention or desire. It was actually for showing my family that, hey, I can do this, or showing people that I've made it. That's why I was doing those things. And a lot of us, we make decisions based on those things, what other people will think. We make it on our greed, we make it on our some kind of emptiness that we're trying to fulfill, and we make these decisions, and each person has their own reasoning. But if your reason is a higher purpose, then you can, and you know yourself, and you've been to your own darkness, you've seen your own shadow self, you've seen what you're capable of, you've seen that ugliness in yourself, and you've seen it reflected on other people. If you've seen your own darkness, then when you are faced with another person and their intentions aren't so pure, you can sense it. You can see it. It's almost like intuition. It's your pineal gland. It's your understanding open, because you are living at a higher state of understanding. Your 1 foot is on the physical, 1 foot is in this realm, in this Malkut, this physical realm, and 1 foot is like, 1 foot is in that darkness, that unseen. And you can understand the unseen by the seen, because nothing is seen without it being unseen. See, that's one of the Hermetic principles, which is the first one, mentalism. I talked about this few weeks ago, mentalism, anything you see, this label here, it came from someone's mind. This Chiquita, it came from someone's mind. It came from the unseen. Everything that is seen, no matter if it's a banana, this banana came from the unseen, right? It came from the creator, correct? It came from the mind of the creator. And this coffee cup, it came from the mind of somebody, right? So it's almost like a backwards life. We are in the bottom realms trying to get back to the top, because we used to be at the top realm with that understanding and the Garden of Eden. We have to just make our way back up. And you have to make your way back up, and you got to climb up. That's why you see all these movies. You see them going going in a tunnel. For example, like, we're in this tree of life, where some people are living in beauty, okay, and they don't know anything else because they're so beautiful, and something happens to them, and they let's just say they get deformed, or something, they get older and just their beauty fades, so they're not beautiful anymore, or they don't exist. No, they basically they're going on this tree. We're going on this tree of life, kind of, I don't know, kind of like not from the wind, just kind of carrying us to different realms, right? Without going into the darkness. So that's why you see, like, for example, you have Bruce Wayne, right? He has this amazing life. His parents are billionaires. He doesn't have to do anything. He has an amazing life, right? And then his parents get killed, and after that happened, he's kind of like lost, and he goes in that cave. He falls down that cave. Right, his dad rescues him, and then a few years later he gets killed. His parents get killed, and then he has to face his fears again, and his fear was that bat cave. And in movies, it signifies that darkness, whatever that hole is, that darkness, it's always Doth. And when they climb back up through Doth, back to the tree of life, back to the reality, they're a different person. You're a different person. Movies have this all the time. You have people that are just walking around in the jungle, and then they find this cave, they go inside this cave, and something happens, and they come out of the cave with, like, special powers, It's always depicted in Hollywood, because it's actually art imitates reality. That's what we have to do. You have to, because right now you're in this tree of life without going to Doth. You're just on this tree of life, and you don't understand it. You can't go to the top without understanding the different, paths. You can't understand the top without understanding the whole tree. And when you go to the darkness, which is the tree of knowledge, and you come back out, you have knowledge now about the tree of life. And in Islam, they talk about the tree of life. But it's just the translations are very limited, and my thing is that there's probably lots of information about this in different countries like Morocco and Egypt and things like that. Not so much so the Middle East with Saudi Arabia, because look who they are, the same people that control the Kaaba, the same people that control the dissemination, the giving of the knowledge, right? And then they give it to the scholars, and they have schools, and the scholars give it to the people that they are the community members, But who controls all that stuff? The same people that give us our Sunni Islam, They're the same ones that are killing other Muslims, of civilians in Yemen. I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so obviously, based on our community and our fragmented community and ourselves, when you look in the mirror, there's something going on where we aren't getting the full information. It is being filtered through a system that doesn't allow us to climb that tree. Doesn't allow us to go within, get that knowledge of the self, and then go back out. It's not that it doesn't allow us. It's just the information hasn't been given, because this information is very empowering, to understand that we are in an illusion. That is a very powerful statement. To understand that we control our reality is very powerful. To understand that you can control your reality by what you think and being in a feeling state. Either if you're in fear all the time, or in hatred, or in anger, or in a fear, then whatever you create will be out of that fear. Now, if you're in a place of gratitude, of understanding these experiences and understanding polarity and understanding the human psyche, by understanding the different kingdoms you have to go through, then that puts you in a very unique position of really understanding reality. And that's powerful, because once you understand yourself, you can understand other people. And you can use that for good or bad. That's not my problem. This knowledge will really exemplify what's in your heart. It's like somebody that gets, $1 million. If their heart is all about greed, or it's about, collecting stuff in this world, then you'll see them buying, things and hoarding their money. But if they know life is about giving, and the energy you give out is the energy you're going to get back, then that person will be a lot different. So, I just wanted to kind of talk about this. It's really complicated, but people, you have like rabbis, they spend a lifetime of this, but it's not un-Islamic. This is so Islamic. It's like, it is Islamic. It is. This is from our cousins. All right, this is from our cousins, and this understanding. If you understand this and just kind of even understand, just kind of read into it and understand how to go to your own darkness by meditation, by contemplation, then you're almost there, But I'm going to be talking about this a lot more, because I think it's needed in our communities now more so than ever, because there's in you energy. The old ways stuck on this, physical, this world of like physical, we think it's so real, but it's not. It's an illusion. But being an illusion, it is. I still want to witness the other polarity of it, because I've had a lot of suffering. I've had a lot of being broke. I've had a lot of, the bottom half of that. Now I'm ready to witness the other polarity, and that is my intention. And everybody, every single person can have the life of their dreams. It's not true. There's no scarcity. That's just a mindset. each one of you can live the life of your dreams. 100% the life of your dreams. What you have to do is you have to envision it with creativity in your mind, without fear, without any kind of, without looking at your current physical state. You have to imagine yourself already living the life of your dreams. And then what you do is you just become that guy or that lady that is living their dreams. You become it. Okay, I think I've said enough. Okay, take care, you guys, and guys and ladies. And I think the next thing I'm going to talk about is energy and the different energies you can harness for yourself. Remember, we are our soul, the soul, okay, that is the divine spark. Then we have our body, and we have our ego, I guess you can call it, you know, or that spirit, right? Now, it is the three parts of us, you know, because we aren't this physical body. Because when we die, our spirit, our soul, the divine spark, it lives on, you know, and the spirit is what we are in this physical, you know. What kind of spirit do you want to be? You know, do you want to be a spirit based on like hate or anger or lack, limitations? Then the spirits, you'll be heavy, you'll be depressed, you'll be angry, you'll be living in lack, you'll be, jealousy, all those kind of things. Or you can be in gratitude, or you can be in abundance. Be a spirit of abundance, you know? And your soul, you know, that is the master of the body and spirit. So align your body and your spirit with that soul. Not the body is doing what it wants and it's controlling the mind or the spirit, and the soul is like, what the hell is going on here? I hate, what's going on, you know? All three things have to be aligned. All right, so next time I'm going to be talking about the energy and how to harness different energies. Take care.